Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Brandon Warvillius. Alongside with me is cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy here on the WHS Network on YouTube.com. We got Senior Night 2018 coming your way here in just a brief moment in time. We wanted to make sure and get here on the air for this. Obviously, I do the PA announcing, so I got a lot going on here this evening, but we did want to make sure to get on here for all this. We'll have our mic on. Redbeard will be manning the camera as usual. So, folks, again, we'll step aside. This is, again, Senior Night 2018 here from Raider Gymnasium. We'll be back with more right after this break. All righty, welcome back here, folks. Again, Brandon Warvillius. Alongside with me is cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy. We do have a little brief pause in the action. We're actually waiting for one of the parents for them to get here. So I guess while we're waiting on this, Redbeard, you come into tonight's game here. Obviously a big conference game, and you look here 8-0. In the regular season. You have Cowan coming in here at 7-1, a big time game. What do you think from Wapahani's standpoint? What are we going to have to do to be able to get the job done here tonight?
We're definitely going to have to come out strong. Show them we're here to play. It's our senior night. You want to show out for the crowd, show out for your teammates, show out for the seniors. Get ahead. Don't look back. Keep the foot on the gas. Put them out fast.
Well said, Redbeard. We wanted to get you some airtime here tonight. You can never, of course, we really don't. You don't really get on here too much and talk, but words of wisdom right there, ladies and gentlemen, by cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy. So again, we'll have senior night festivities here coming up, and then obviously they'll have warm-ups, which obviously we'll have a nice Raiders Live pregame edition presented by the Liberty Perry Alumni Association coming up. But definitely wanted to get this senior night festivities on here and ready to go and everything else. So just wanted to get on here this evening and hopefully have a great broadcast of Lady Raider Volleyball coming up, folks. We'll go ahead and step aside. We'll be back here with more right after this break. Estelle is being escorted out this evening by Carrie and Joey Davis. Her activities out here at Wapahani include 3 years of Riley Club, 2 years of Red Rose Club, 2 years RAD, 2 years National Honor Society, 4 years of Wapahani Volleyball, 1 year of track, and also 6 years of Munciana Volleyball. Her future plans to attend college at IU Kokomo, where she plans to continue playing volleyball and major in psychology, graduate, marry the love of her life, have 2 kids, and live happily ever after. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Estella Davis. Next we have Miss Haven Gates. She's being escorted by her parents Darcy New and David Gates. Her activities while attending Wapahani include 4 years of volleyball, 8 years of Munciana volleyball, 1 year of Junior Raiders coach, 3 years of track and field, 3 years of Red Rose Club, 2 years of Riley Club, and 1 year of RAD. Her future plans are to attend college, where she plans on continuing her volleyball career while studying nursing. After she graduates, she'd like to get a job at a hospital, meet the love of her life, have 4 kids, and live happily ever after. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Haven Gates. Our next senior, Miss Sarah Orm. She's being escorted this evening by her mom, Carrie Orm, and her brother, Kane Orm. Her activities while attending Wapahani includes 4 years of Wapahani volleyball, 7 years of Munciana volleyball. She also helped coach the Junior Raiders for 1 year, also 4 years of RAD, 4 years of Red Rose Club, 2 years of National Honor Society, and 2 years of Riley Club. Her future plans are to attend Ball State University, become a nurse practitioner, marry the love of her life, be rich, have 4 beautiful kids, and live the happiest life. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Sarah Orr. And our last senior this evening, manager Cameron Mason. He is being escorted this evening by Nora Ireland. His activities while attending Wapahani include 3 years of men's volleyball, 3 years of Spanish club, and also 1 year of managing the girls' volleyball team. His future plans are to attend Ball State University, major in residential and property management. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Cameron Mason. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, give a nice round of applause to all of these seniors for everything that they have done for Wapahani High School, not only on the court, but in the classroom as well. Congratulations and the best of luck to all of your future endeavors. Alrighty, welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen. Again, we tried to make sure this was as good as possible there for the senior night festivities. Hopefully, all of you fine folks out here in Raider Nation was able to enjoy that here this evening. Obviously, a lot going on. I had to get the PA announcing done, and got all that settled. So I think we're ready to go now. But nevertheless, again, the 19-7, 7-1 in conference play Cowan Lady Blackhawks will be taking on your 24-4 and 8-0 in the conference Wapahani Lady Raiders. We'll go ahead and get right into things here with our Raiders Live pregame presented by the Liberty Prairie Alumni Association. Again, the Raiders coming into tonight obviously have had a fantastic season to this point, but you want to finish the season off right, and no better way than having it at home, and then for senior night to claim the conference crown. So a very, very big evening, not to mention the fact it is senior night. So a lot's kind of riding on this here this evening. Cowan is a very impressive group of players, and so this should be very interesting to see what happens here for us. Obviously the talent definitely there for Cowan, but also right here on the same side for us as well. And, I think we're going to see hopefully a little bit of a different mixture of things. Hopefully some confidence, like what Redbeard was talking about earlier. Just being able to go out here and not only, get off to a good start from the get-go here, but just be able to maintain confidence throughout the whole entire ball game. When things necessarily aren't always going to go your way, you got to find a way to get out of that and have the confidence and be able to do so and to successfully do it and hopefully come out here and play the game the right way and play it together. Because Cowan, like I said, from what we had seen from them last week, they got a pretty nice team here. They're a 1A school, definitely, kind of small like us, but a lot of very talented players here. So Wapahani has definitely met their match from that standpoint of a small school that's very successful. And hopefully, like I said, we come out here and play with the intensity and the utmost confidence that we should be playing with. Obviously, from the seniors, you want to come out here and, you want to leave a lasting impression for your last time ever playing on this court, at least in the regular season. Now, we are hosting the sectionals next week, which is fabulous. Being able to have that I guess the home court advantage, I guess, if you will. There's really not much of an advantage other than you get to play in front of your home crowd. You don't have a long drive to endure on your way here, so really outside of that, there's really not any kind of an advantage, if you will. But still very exciting, and very exciting to come out here and play on your home court in front of your home team, and being able to hopefully be able to get the job done and have a lot of success at that. But again, the Raiders have to come out here and play great here this evening. Conference title on the line, so we're hoping that we can expect some big things from them, and hopefully they can have a lot of success here this evening and continue their winning ways. Like I said, 24-4 on the season. Not too bad at all. Not too bad at all. So we're hoping for big things here tonight from your Wapahani Lady Raiders. We have roughly about 15 minutes left of the pregame warm-ups. So we will go ahead and step aside here for a break, folks, and we will be back here with more Raiders Live presented by the Liberty Prairie Alumni Association live on the WHS Network. Alrighty, welcome back here, folks, to the Raiders Live pregame presented by the Liberty Berry Alumni Association on Senior Night 2018. Glad to have all of you with us here live on the WHS Network here on YouTube.com. Some more updated information here, folks. Obviously, we talked about the other night during our broadcast on Monday. But your Lady Raiders will be traveling to Columbus East this coming weekend. We will not be attending that, unfortunately. It's just a little bit of a drive for us to get down there, and we're unfortunately not going to be able to get down there and broadcast that. We're just going to definitely try our best to get down there, but unfortunately we will not be able to get down there for that. So we definitely wanted to make sure and give all of you that information. But some other updated information, which we had posted this the other day on Facebook and Twitter. But the Class 3A Sectional 24 held out here at Wapahani begins next week. And in fact, it begins next Tuesday. Wapahani drew the first round bye, so they won't play until Thursday. But the first game of Sectional 24 play will be next Tuesday at 6 o'clock. That will be between Hamilton Heights and Delta. The winner of that game will play Wapahani at 11 a.m. Actually, on Saturday. Pardon me about that. Wapahani does not play Thursday. Wapahani will play in the first game on Saturday morning at 11 o'clock against the winner of Hamilton Heights and Delta. Then on Thursday night, at 6 p.m., Newcastle will take on Blackford at 6 p.m., followed by Jay County and Muncie Burris at around 7:30, 7:45. Again, that will be on Thursday, October the 11th. And then on Saturday, October the 13th at 11 a.m., like I mentioned, Wapahani will play the winner of Hamilton Heights and Delta at 11 a.m. on October the 13th. Following that game, at 12:30, 12:45 will be the two winners of Newcastle and Blackford and Jay County and Muncie Burris. They will face off with the Sectional 24 Championship game being on October 13th, so next Saturday at 7 p.m. Again, all sectional action right out here from Raider Gymnasium. So make sure, please come on out, support this Lady Raider volleyball team. A big time of the season, there's no question about that. And they want your support. They need your support. So please come on out if you can. And even if you can come out, you can always watch us. We'll have it live right here on the air. All of Wapahani's games right here on the WHS network. So wherever they go, we go from the state tournament standpoint. So hopefully we'll be able to have a lot of success there. But like I said, first and foremost is here tonight, a crucial game here this evening. And one of the biggest goals that you have in every single season is to win your conference. Well, obviously, Wapahani can still have a tie, I guess technically, but you want to win this outright. You want to win this outright and be able to say that you're 100% the lone MEC Conference champ for the 2018 season. Wapahani, again, they have to have everything going on all cylinders here. You got to have Estella Davis to be able to hit with success. You got to have Sarah Orm, Mallory Summers. The list can go on and on. You're seeing some other contributions here from Emma Shucks, from Cameron Curry. An assortment of other ladies, Cadence Brewer. So everybody has to contribute, especially here offensively. We've got to be able to have success. And then on the defensive side of the ball, again, we're not very tall. But, with athleticism we do have, you got to be able to use it to your advantage some way, somehow. And, we can't let Cowan go on any kind of runs. And that's where, defensively we have to be solid. We have to be solid up front in the back row. You got to be everywhere. Everybody's got to be able to do their job correctly, and everybody's supposed to know their role. Hopefully we take care of business here this evening and what should be a very good ball game. Like I said, we've seen Cowan last week take on Daleville and Yorktown. Pretty impressive team here. But we have a very impressive team here as well, so that's why it should be a great showdown here between two relatively very impressive volleyball programs such as Wapahani and Cowan. But we appreciate, again, all of you for catching all the action here this evening. Again, Senior Night 2018 here from beautiful Raider Gymnasium in Selma, Indiana. Again, we'll step aside here for a break. And we will be back here with the finishing touches of our Raiders Live pregame presented by the Liberty Perry Alumni Association.
We know the right way to get you where you need to go. We'll be the wheels underneath you, out on the road. We're driven to give you the best service. We're driven cause we know you deserve it. Stoops, we're driven to be the best. Stoops, we're driven to be the best.
Stop on in at Jones Auto Body, owned by J.R. Fain in the 1901 East Memorial Drive in Muncie, Indiana. Jones Auto Body is one of Muncie's oldest and largest auto repair and paint shops, in which they have been serving the community for over 30 years. Jones Auto Body, assurance of quality.
You need legal advice or representation, you can trust B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law in Muncie. Our focus is personal injury. We handle cases involving serious injuries, wrongful deaths, all vehicle crashes, nursing home cases, medical product and drug recalls, and slips, trips, and falls. No fee until we win. We offer evening, weekend, home, and hospital appointments for your convenience. Contingency fee arrangements are available. For a free consultation, call B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law, today.
All righty, ladies and gentlemen, again, welcome back here to the Raiders Live pregame presented by the Liberty Perry Alumni Association. We'll finish things up here with this again. Wapahani perfect on the season conference play. Cowan 7-1. Simple as that. We have to take it to them. We have to take it to them here this evening. I know they're on Saturday. Obviously, we played against Yorktown. Allowed them to go on way too many runs. And not only that, but they were very long runs. That's one thing we have to minimize here this evening. If Cowan gets on any kind of run, then you got to limit it to 2 or 3 points, and that's it. You've got to be able to limit the long runs to where they're not really putting you in a big-time bind to where you're continuously just having to dig out of a hole left and right, because it's not, that's not going to help you whatsoever. It's just more of a burden as the game goes along because all you're doing is just having to play catch up all the time, and that's not how you want to play the game. So, again, you want to limit the long runs, but especially from our standpoint, we got to get off to a great start here tonight, and we've got to be able to take it to them and have the confidence to go out there and to put a great game plan together and to execute that game plan. For these seniors, like I've already mentioned, this is it for them. This will be the last time they play in the regular season here at home. Again, they'll get to play here next week, but still, and not only to mention, but you do have the conference crown up for grabs. So if that's not, ammunition enough to want to win, and the determination to win, then I don't know what will be able to get you there. So we'll see what happens. We're excited about tonight's game, and obviously we haven't been able to broadcast a lot of games here within the last couple of weeks. I know we was at it there on Monday night, but it's always great to be with you and to have all of you with us here to broadcast Lady Raider Volleyball as the season winds down. The Senior Night 2018 here this evening from Raider Gymnasium. Again, the Cowan Lady Blackhawks taking on your Wapahani Lady Raiders. This has been Raiders Live pregame presented by the Liberty Perry Alumni Association. Got about 2 minutes left of pregame warm-ups, and then we'll have the national anthem coming up, sung by Haley Morvillius, my lovely sister, and also Wapahani Lady Raider volleyball player Cameron Curry. They will be singing tonight's national anthem, and then obviously we got rosters coming up here as well, and then tonight's game. So, folks, once again, thanks for joining us. Stay with us, and we'll be back here with more action live on the WHS Network. All righty, welcome back again here, ladies and gentlemen. We got tonight's rosters coming up right here on the WHS Network again, as we have Lady Raider Volleyball coming up here on Senior Night 2018. We'll first take a look at the roster here for the Cowan Lady Blackhawks. We have number 1, Riley Walker, number 2, Avery Clues, number 4, Alexis Huff, number 5, JC Harrington, number 6, Riley Mace, number 7, Lily Johnson, number 8, Emma Clark, as well as number 9, Gracie Conway, number 10, Sophie Smith, number 11, Skylar Trimble, number 12, Brooke Krebs, and number 15, Ashley Rains. The Lady Blackhawks are coached by Whitney Stewart. Now we'll take a look here at the Wapahani Lady Raiders. Number 1, Gracie Stanley, number 3, Ashton Zittgraff, number 4, Haven Gates, number 5, Emily Stewart, number 6, Estella Davis, number 7, Sarah Orm, number 8, Allison Stewart, number 9, Mallory Summers, number 11, Emma Shuck, number 12, Cameron Curry, number 13, Maddie Webb, number 15, Layla Lee, number 16, Olivia Smith, number 17, Cadence Brewer, and number 18, Kaylee Fender. Again, the Lady Raiders coached by Jared Richardson, assisted by Jenna Eastham. So again, that's tonight's rosters on Senior Night 2018. Very nice crowd on hand here this evening, as usual. It's always great to have the support out here for every ball game. We're hoping for much of the same next week, except hopefully even bigger crowd to pack this place here for Sectional 24 volleyball coming up next week. Nevertheless, here Cowan will start off serving, and back to serve will be number 11, Skylar Trimble. Again, Cowan coming in at 19-7, 7-1 in the MEC Conference. Wapahani 24-4 and 8-0 in conference play. Stewart sets it to Summers and hits it off the antenna, and it's a 1-0 lead here for Cowan. There's Shuck. Gates sent it there to Orm as a little free ball action for the Blackhawks. Huff on the attack, and once again, here we go. Stewart sets it back over there to Summers that time around. Nicely done. Tied here at 1 with Haven Gates back to serve. Dug out that time by Conway. Huff gets it back across. Set by Stewart, back to Summers again. Conway digs it out. It's Trimble to Huff once more. Blocked by Davis. Gates digs it out. Set up here and free ball action for Cowan. Let's see what they cook up here. Orm lays out for it, and Haven Gates sticks the arm out there to get it back over. But set over the net, down in play for the Lady Blackhawks as they now take a 2-1 lead. Gates with a dig. Stewart back to Summers, and good kill there, tied at 2. And Mallory will be back to serve for Wapahani. Mishandled there by Huff, but Cowan will get it over. Set there to Davis, bringing the Thunder. Now a 3-2 lead for Wapahani. Huff with the dig, set to Conway, and puts that one right into the net as the Raiders now expand that lead to 2. Nice serve there from Summers. Set up to Conway. Gates will dig it. And Davis will get it over, but out of bounds. So number 10, Smith, now in for the Blackhawks, and back to serve will be number 6, Riley Mace. into the net there. So Wapahani had a little bit of a communication error the last point. Luckily, Cowan gave it right back to us there after the serving error. Huff with a dig. There's Mace setting it up for Smith. Summers will soft tip over the net there by Davis. Trimble sets it. Conway on the attack and lands it in for the kill. So already a very close ball game as we'll see Olivia Smith in here for the first time of the night for Wapahani. Clark back to serve. The floater serve and into the net once more. So some little unforced errors by both teams to start off this game tonight. Davis back there to serve. Trimble with the setup to Conway, but blocked by Sarah Orm. So nicely done there by senior Sarah Orm on the block to get the Raiders point number 7 here in the first set. Trimble sets it once again there to Conway, soft tip over the net. There's Stewart on the attack and lands it in along the sideline in that back corner. A very well-placed shot there. Conway, or pardon me, that was Huff with the dig. Conway on the attack there. Summers will dig it out. Set to Sarah Orm and hit out of bounds, and the point goes to the Blackhawks. As we see Cadence Brewer back into the Raider lineup. Conway back to serve. Gates to Summers to Orm. Yes! So Orm bringing some thunder of her own here this evening. As the Raiders now once again take a 4-point lead, 9-5 with Allison Stewart back there to serve. Mishandled there, and that will be an ace for the Raiders. And we'll see a timeout taken by the Blackhawks. And we will go ahead and stick right here with you during the timeout. This is our University Avenue Dental game break. University Avenue Dental, Greg Pyle, DDS. Greg, along with the rest of his talented dentistry crew, look to solving your unrecognized dental needs with an invaluable patient experience, outstanding treatment, and that cutting-edge dentistry. University Avenue Dental is located at 800 West University Avenue in Muncie, Indiana. Their hours are 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Thursday. Also to B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law, located at 400 East Jackson Street in Muncie, Indiana. At the law offices of B. Joseph Davis, which is a highly recommended and respected professional corporation, they strive to aggressively represent all their clients' interests in all phases of any legal matter. Their team has extensive experience in personal injury, criminal defense, which also includes drunk driving, criminal record, as well as bankruptcy expungements and hardship licenses. For more information, visit his website at www.bjosephdavis.com. So back out of the timeout here, Wapahani with a 10-5 lead. And another block, this time by Brewer. So the Raiders have got it going on here tonight. Getting the block party started. And it's a 6-point advantage here for the Raiders. Great start. That's one of many things that we talked about in the Raiders Live pregame here this evening, is jumping out to a big start. Redbeard mentioned it as well. It's so important to get off to a good start, building that confidence early, and don't, more or less dig yourself a hole. We've seen that a couple times throughout the season, not a lot, but enough to make a difference in ball games. And, if you're digging yourself a hole early in games, it's sometimes hard to get out of those, depending upon who you're playing against. And, right now you look at Cowan, they've dug themselves a hole. We will see number 15, Ashley Raines, now in here for the first time of the night for Cowan. But the Blackhawks have definitely dug themselves a hole. it's going to be tough to get out of. You know, we've went on a pretty nice extensive run here, and another ace for Allison Stewart. She just keeps on keeping on. And Conway back into the lineup. And right now, Coach Whitney Stewart just trying to mix and match and find some way to get a point on the board. Nice dig there by Haven Gates. And a communication error there on behalf of Wapahani will get Cowan that point. Avery Clues now in the ball game. But that's exactly what Wapahani needed here. Have a nice long run, build that confidence, sustain that confidence, keep the foot on the gas, and get the job done. So Shuck back in here for Wapahani. We'll see Mace back in here for Cowan. Sarah Orm will now be back to serve for the Raiders. Orm with the dig, set to Shuck. Nice tip over the net there. Here we go. Gates sets it to Summers. Yes! 17-6 Raiders. This is exactly what you was wanting to see. Blocked there by Brewer. Nice job there by Gates. Very close to the net right there. Is able to still set it up just enough so then we can have a good opportunity as Shuck rolls one along the net, sneaks it in along the side, and is able to land that one in for the point. 18-6 now Wapahani. So a serving error there. Served right back here to Cowan as number 11, Skylar Trimble's back to serve. Gates will dig it out. Stewart sets it to Shuck. Blocked but kept alive there by Summers. Now Brewer on the attack. And Clark over to Gates. Will free ball. Here we go. Set to Summers. Yes! Very good job here by Wapahani. I don't know if they've just had a renewed vigor about themselves, if they have a, a heart-to-heart conversation or whatever they have had, but this definitely looks like a much different team. Now, you look at Cowan. Are they playing very good? No, they're not playing to the potential that they have. But in large part because of what Wapahani has been able to do here so far. I mean, they have came right out of the gate with the intensity. Just everything going on all cylinders this evening. And really, it's been quite a while. And again, it's still early. We've only scored 20 points here so far, and we're still in set number 1. So there's no reason to get too far ahead of ourselves. But I can honestly say this might be the best we've probably played all year. We have a timeout again here by Cowan. We'll go ahead and step aside here for a break again. 21-7, Wapahani set number 1. This is the University Evan O'Donnell game break. We'll be back with more right after this. All righty, folks. Welcome back out of the timeout here again. Wapahani with a sizable 21-7 lead. Now make it 21-8 lead. So Alexis Huff now back to serve here for the Blackhawks in the opening set of the evening. But, you know, as I was saying before we went to break there, as Estella Davis puts another kill down, this really, I mean, I understand, you know, now we're only 22 points into this game, but there is a much, much bigger difference than the way we're playing tonight and even the way we played on Monday night. I mean, it's literally night and day. We've picked up the intensity. You know, we're not making the little errors that have cost us in some games. You know, we're just playing clean volleyball, and we're playing the game the right way, sticking together, getting to everything, and playing with confidence. If you are able to do that and seemingly, you know, nearly get to every ball and have it going on all cylinders on offense, you're tough to beat. I don't care what team you are. But this has really been quite exciting to watch. So we'll have Riley Mace back to serve here for the Blackhawks. Orm, Summers, Davis missed time but got it over. Now Conway back on the attack. Orm with the dig that time. Here we go, back to Davis again. And the Raiders now at set point. And off the hand there of Haven Gates. To make it now 24-10, and in will come Olivia Smith here for Wapahani, and Emma Clark for Cowan, and she'll be back to serve. So again, still a very long order of set points. And we'll just end it right there. 25-10 opening set victory for Wapahani, setting the tone here early. Great to see. Hopefully more of this to come, not only throughout tonight's ball game, but throughout the rest of the year for the Lady Raiders. So, folks, a 1-0 lead here for Wapahani. We'll step aside for a break. We'll be back here with more right after the commercial break. Welcome back here, folks. Brandon Morvillius alongside here with me is cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy, live here on the WHS Network on YouTube.com. Again, a very exciting first set of volleyball here for Wapahani. Exactly what we've been waiting to see, you know, and I've already touched on this already a couple different times, but by far, in my opinion, that was the best set we probably played all year. that was just good, clean, solid, confident volleyball. Just in all phases of the game. That was a very, very good set right there for Wapahani. So how do you follow that up? Well, you follow it up with an even better set here with set number 2. So you just look to continue to get better each and every set, every single point, every game, never settle for just being good or, being complacent, whatever. But now I will say, yes, Cowan was a little down there in that first set. They started out right out of the gate. It was back and forth, and then Wapahani pulled away. They had a nice big run, I think of close to 9 or 10 in a row that we put up on the board, which obviously, we know firsthand, unfortunately, what that can do to a team when you get down early like that and allow a team to really put the hammer on you. It's tough to get out of the hole. I said that there in the first set too. That's very tough. It's tough to get out of. You feel like you cannot get any kind of momentum on your side whatsoever. You're kind of down on yourself. The whole team is just in not a very good setting, if you will. And, thus the reason you have the score the way it is. This Cowan team is very good. I doubt that they would probably come out here and score 10 points here in the second set. But in the same token, Wapahani really did play that good. I will definitely say that as well. So, it just depends upon what kind of intensity we still come back out here with. And Alexis Huff gets it started here for Cowan in set number 2. So we'll see Skylar Trimble back to serve. Gates will dig it out. Stewart sets it to Summers. And out of bounds. And see already 2 things we really didn't see a whole lot of. One of those definitely hitting errors. We definitely kept the ball in between the lines. But, that's going to happen sometimes. So I don't think there's going to be anybody to come out here and have a 100 hitting percentage. If they do, then I'd like to meet them. So 2-1 count here in set number 2. We have Mallory Summers back to serve. Mace with the dig. Trimble with the set up to Huff. Tipped up front. Here we go. Summers with the set up to Shuck. Trimble digs it. Clark over to Huff once more. Hits that one into the net. We're tied at 2. And 2 hits called on the Lady Blackhawks, and now a 3-2 Raider lead. Nice serve there. Conway digs it out. She'll be on the attack. Here we go. A little free ball action. Orm on the attack, and Conway, I think, got to know that ball a little bit more than what she wanted to on that play. Clark digs that one. Trimble back to Conway once more. Gates will dig it out, but here we go. More free ball for Cowan, and is able to pound that one down for the kill is Alexis Huff. So Huff will be back to serve. Wapahani with a 1-point lead in the second set of the evening. And another serving error. So Cowan just not quite playing up to par. unfortunate for them, no question, but very fortunate for us that you're able to, at least as of right now, catch a team on a bad night. And it doesn't help when also you're playing very good as well. So we'll have Emma Shuck back to serve. 6-3 Wapahani, set number 2. Bad pass there, and Estella Davis made her pay for it. They executed that one nicely. Tapped it right back down. 7-3 Raiders. Ashley Raines now back in here for the Blackhawks. Trimble with a set up to Conway, and a lift called on the Raiders. There's going to be a point for Cowan either way as Olivia Smith returns to the Raider lineup. Riley Mace back to serve. Gates to Summers, to Davis. Trimble with the dig. She might have got away with 2 hit right there. Orm on the attack. Raines back to Trimble, to Clark. Stewart digs it. Set right back to her. Good action right here. Orm on the attack, yes! So a long rally point there. 8-4. Brewer back in for the Raiders. Estella Davis to serve, and into the net she goes. So number 8, Emma Clark now back to serve. Nice serve there from Clark, and Stewart unleashes one there. Look at that! Sarah Orm with the kill. Allison Stewart now back to serve. Skim the top of the net. Here's Trimble back to Conway. That should have been 4 hits. So a very, very late call. But I think they got the call right. Stewart again back to serve. And now an ace. Miscommunication there on behalf of the Blackhawks. Back in will come Huff. Trimble sets it back to Conway. Gates will get there in time. Set back to Orm again and into the net. As now we'll see for the Blackhawks, number 9, Gracie Conway to serve. Set to Summers. Here's Trimble over to Huff again. Smith lays out for it. So a 2-hit call on the Raiders. So Orm collects the kill. Back in, we'll see Emma Shuck. Orm back to serve. Set to Conway and into the net once more as the Raiders again extend that lead to 6, 13-7. Again, if you're just now joining us, the Raiders took set number 1 of the evening, 25-10. And already up now 13-8 here in set number 2. Avery Cruz now back into the game for Cowan. And she will be back to serve. Stewart with a set up to Brewer. Mishandled and in there. Collecting another kill there was Cadence Brewer. Mace back in for Cowan. Haven Gates back. Service Stella Davis also now in here for the Raiders. Nice serve there from Haven. Huff on the attack. Hit out of bounds. Great court vision and recognition there by Allison Stewart. Knowing where she was on the court, watched that one sail out of bounds. Summers back on the attack as Conway will dig it out. Huff, there's Gates digging it. Here we go, set to Shuck. Blocked right back down. And really, Cowan opened themselves up for that one. A very, very short set. Dangerous, especially right there up against the net. Was able to have our blockers be in attack mode there. Another block. Here we go again. Stewart sets it. Davis on the attack there. Nicely done. It's going to be hit out of bounds. Off of Cowan. Point for the Raiders. And a substitution here. We'll see number 5, J.C. Harrington, will now come to the ball game here for number 1, Riley Walker. Floater serve from Gates. Trimble back to Huff. Stewart with the dig. I'll tell you what, that went up and came back down about the same speed. An absolute missile. So Trimble back to serve with Wapahani up by 8. Back to Davis on the attack off the hands of Mace. Mallory Summers now back to serve for Wapahani. And we'll have a substitution now, seeing her first action of the game. Be number 15, Layla Lee. And a serving error cost the Raiders a point there. And back in we'll see Ashley Raines for Cowan. She'll come in for Alexis Huff and jump back to serve. So over the net, was called on Cowan. Didn't give the Raiders an opportunity to set the ball. Didn't make it over the top of the net there. Conway back on the attack. Summers digs it out. Here we go. Orm as she will sneak it in there. Thought that was going to be a nice little easy free volley here for Cowan, but very well-placed ball there by Sarah Orm. So Emma Shuck to serve. Raiders up by 10. Conway back on the attack. Gates digs it out. Set up to Davis. And again, hammering one down is Estella Davis, now 21-10. Blocked by Orm. Set to Conway and blocked again. Goodness. Timeout taken by Cowan. And we will go ahead and stick right here with you during the timeout. Man, oh man. I mean, this just looks like a whole new different team. Really, really does. It's quite shocking, to be quite honest with you. Which it's not necessarily that we played bad all year. There's only been a couple games where I could really say we just did not play very good, all the way around. But tonight just kind of seems like our coming out party, if you will. I mean, we're just doing things maybe a little bit differently, and there's some excitement in the air, and you can see the confidence that each one of these girls have, and that's how it should be every game. At the end of the day, I don't care. You can play against anybody. You can, no matter how good or how bad they are, you still got to bring the same intensity every game. And if you're not able to do that, then more than likely that's probably going to spell trouble from you from the get-go. And if you don't have the confidence, then your game is just going to continue to deteriorate as the game goes along. But what Wapahani has been able to do here so far this evening has been very good. And stuff like that. Good hustle. Yeah, we didn't get the point, but you love the hustle there from Emma Shuck. That's what you want to see out of each one of these girls, and that's what we've seen all year long. There's not been any question about that. But it's just really how we went about our business here this evening. I mean, we've just played more along the lines of nose to the grindstone. Let's get after it, put the hammer down, let's get the victory and move on, to the next victim, so to speak. And, and that's how you have to play. So, got to commend these ladies. Summers sets it to Orm. Nice job there by Huff, keeping that one alive. Free ball action here. Got to use this one. Set to Davis. Bringing the hammer. She nailed that one home. 23-12. Davis back to serve. Brewer back into the Raider lineup. And blocked again by the Raiders. So set point, 24-12. Summers sets it over to Orm. And that will do it here in set number 2 as the Raiders take a 2-0 lead, 25-10. 25-12 over the Cowan Lady Blackhawks. We'll step aside here for a break. We'll get back here with set number 3 coming up momentarily right after this commercial break.
We know the right way to get you where you need to go. We'll be the wheels underneath you, out on the road. We're driven to give you the best service. We're driven cause we know you deserve it. Stoops, we're driven to be the best. Stoops, we're driven to be the best.
You need legal advice or representation, you can trust B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law in Muncie. Our focus is personal injury. We handle cases involving serious injuries, wrongful deaths, all vehicle crashes, nursing home cases, medical product and drug recalls, and slips, trips, and falls. No fee until we win. We offer evening, weekend, home, and hospital appointments for your convenience. Contingency fee arrangements are available. For a free consultation, call B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law, today.
Alrighty, welcome back here again to the WHS Network live here on YouTube.com. Wapahani with a commanding 2-0 lead over the Cowan Lady Blackhawks, 25-10, 25-12. And again, it's just kind of really what we've wanted to see all year. Just putting everything together. And it's really the best time of the year to start doing this. Hopefully this trend continues for us. And again, and when I say that, I'm not saying that, we've just played awful all year, because that's not the case at all. As I said earlier, there's only been really a couple games where, we just didn't look very good at all. And, and you're going to have games like that at times. But for the most part, we've played solid all year, but this is by far, it really just looks like we have just polished up our game and put it out there on the floor, and this is what you get. And this is really the best of us, at least from my standpoint of what I've seen so far. So it's really, like I said, it's nice to see, but you got to continue this. You can't have any kind of letdown. Wapahani has got to keep the metal to the pedal. So Stewart will send it up to Davis. Mace will dig it out. Clark gets it back across. Here we go. Gates with a setup to Davis. Trimble digs it out. Mishandled there, and the Raiders will take point number 1 to open up the third set. The Raiders here to open up set number 1 will have set number 3, pardon me. Mallory Summers back to serve. Also, you got Haven Gates, Sarah Orm, Allison Stewart, Estella Davis, and Cameron Curry on the floor to open up the third set. Sent over the net by Mallory Summers. Excellent job right there, just changing it up a little bit, keeping the defense off balance. A great decision and a well-placed ball there by Mallory Summers. Trimble will set it over the net. Here we go. Summers over to Stewart. Yes. Again, another great job there by Wapahani. Pass, set, kill. Worked beautifully right there. And that will be an ace for Mallory Summers. 4-0 Wapahani. Trimble with a set up to Conway, or that was Huff, excuse me. She will hit that one out of bounds, so an early 5-0 lead. As that serve will head out of bounds off the hand of Summers. Alexis Huff now back to serve for the Blackhawks. Orm will dig it. Summers to Davis. Off the hand there of Riley Mace. And actually they're going to say that that's a point for Cowan. Said that she was in the net. I'm not sure exactly. I didn't see it, but it doesn't mean it didn't happen by any means. But nevertheless, now a 6-2 ball game, as we will see Kaylee Fender now in here for the first time tonight for Wapahani. Nice serve there by Kaylee, set up to Conway. Nice little soft touch over the net. And that's really one thing that Cowan really hasn't seen, had really a lot of success of here this evening. Being able to change things up and keep Wapahani's defense off balance. For the most part, the Raiders' defense has been on point for a large part of this game, if not the whole entire game, as that will be off the hands there of Trimble. A kill for Estella Davis, as she will now be back to serve. Cadence Brewer back into the Raider lineup. Trimble sets it here to Harrington. Smith right there to dig it. Set over to Orm and out of bounds. So a rare hitting error. Emma Clark back to serve. Gates, Summers, Orm. Works out just like that. A 8-4 advantage now. As we'll see Allison Stewart now back to serve. Again, folks, our next broadcast actually won't be until Saturday, October the 13th. So roughly in about a week and a half from now. And that will be for the semifinal round of Sectional 24 in Class 3A. Again, we'll talk again more about sectionals in our post-game, our Raiders Live post-game report. So a 10-4 lead here for the Raiders. Set number 3 of the evening. Again, Wapahani's already taken the first 2 sets. 25-10, 25-12. Off of the top of the net point there for Cowan. Wapahani also will be playing in the Columbus East Invitational coming up this weekend again. In years past, we've been able to make the trip down there. We've been down there a couple times within the last probably 4 years or so, as that was hit out of bounds point there for Wapahani. But unfortunately, we will not be able to make the trip down there this time around to Columbus East to broadcast those games. Usually a lot of great action. Here's we'll see Cameron Curry re-enter the Raider lineup. But a lot of great teams, a lot of great games will be going on down there at the Invitational. So we do want to wish Wapahani the best of luck coming up on Saturday morning and afternoon and throughout the day as they take on some definite top-tier teams in the state of Indiana. And not only that, but they have a team from Kentucky in there too, Silver Creek, that is always usually very good as well. Tipped over there. Stewart sets it over to Summers. And Conway will get to it. Here we go, free ball. Let's see what we can do here. Brewer blocked there by Harrington. Stewart this time to Curry. Yes! Curry sneaks it inside the back line. Nicely done there by Cameron, getting in on the action tonight. 13-5, Orm still back to serve, the floater serve. Tipped over by Harrington, here we go. Stewart sets it back to Curry again, this time hit out of bounds. So Harrington back to serve. Walker now in here for the Blackhawks. And Summers will hit that one into the net. 13-7 Raiders. So Huff back on the attack. Is able to inch Cowan a little bit closer here now, only a 5-point lead. Set to Summers. Dug out there by Conway, and Trimble will get it over. Stewart back to Brewer, blocked by Huff. And here come the Blackhawks. So obviously they've been able to rattle off, 4 points in a row or so. If you're Wapahani, you got to get that to come to a halt, and Harrington is able to do that for us with a serving error. So Davis back in for Wapahani. Haven Gates back to serve. Riley Mace also now back in for Cowan. Trimble showing some hustle there. Gets over to that one as Walker will hit that one into the net. Got to keep pushing that lead further and further. And an ace this time for Haven Gates.
He didn't even see it coming. I kind of wish it would have hit him.
Missile of the serve there from Haven Gates, kept alive by Summers, and somehow Gates is able to skip that one over the net. Orm lays out for it, but you have a bunch of diving bodies everywhere, but Cowan will come up with the point. Now a 16-10 third set. Trimble back to serve. Gates to Summers. Back to Summers. Trimble with a setup to Clark. There's Gates. Summers sets it over the net. Tries to find that back corner. Orm lays out for it. Here we go. Let's see what Curry can do. And she strikes again. And a really unfortunate situation there for Cowan. Nice floater serve that could have been easily handled, but Walker mishandled that one and hit the net where Stewart was able to just tip it right back down. Another timeout taken by the Blackhawks, and we will go ahead and stick right here with you during the timeout. Again, we have Raiders Live post-game edition coming up here on the WHS Network following the conclusion of tonight's game. Again, we're talking about tonight's game as well as the Columbus East Invitational coming up this weekend, and then also sectionals next week, the bracket and what to look forward to coming up as the regular season winds down of the 2018 campaign. Number 10, Sophie Smith, back in here for the Lady Blackhawks. And Wapahani now 6 points away from taking an old ball game, and Summers gets us a little bit closer with another ace. Tell you what, I wonder how many that's been tonight. We've got to have 15 or more. Between the aces and the blocks and the kills, as that will be 2 hits called on Smith. It's just been a very baffling game for Cowan, but a very dominating game for Wapahani. Blocked there, and another one heading in direction of the Raiders. Block there from Estella Davis. Layla Lee back into the Raider lineup. And Mallory Summers back to serve. A floater serve there into the net. 22-11. Alexis Huff back to serve. And now we'll have a substitution. Now Ashley Raines will now be back in here, and she'll be serving. Unfortunate pass there by Sarah Orm. Executed well there by the Blackhawks. Now a 22-12 ball game. Orm digs it, set up. Davis puts the stamp of approval on that point. Now 23-12. And back in, we'll see number 18, Kaylee Fender, to serve. Just 2 more points. Raines digs it. Trimble sets it. Conway tries to get it across. Here we go. Summers with a setup to Stella Davis. So here we are, folks. 24-12. Game point now, not set point. Game point. Have all your seniors out there on the floor. Haven Gates, Sarah Orma, Stella Davis. What a moment for these ladies. Raines, Trimble, Conway. Fender lays out for it, but it will be down in play, and we'll play at least one more point here as Olivia Smith will come back in here for Fender. Emma Clark back to serve. And still, okay, Clark will not be back to serve. Now it's Riley Mace back to serve. I guess they was getting a little out of order. Here we go. Smith to Summers. Over to Orm. Yes! A great way to finish Senior Night 2018 with a senior putting the hammer down. The stamp of conclusion. 25-10, 25-12, 25-13. Wapahani Lady Raiders take down the Cowan Lady Blackhawks in straight sets now to run their overall season record to 25-4, 9-0 in conference as they now claim the MEC Conference crown. A job well done. 4th year in a row of another MEC Conference title here for your Wapahani Lady Raiders. A very, very good accomplishment to have on the resume. Folks, we'll step aside here for a break. We'll be back here with more on our Raiders Live postgame edition coming up right after this. Alrighty, welcome back here, folks, to the Raiders Live post-game edition, live here on the WHS Network on YouTube.com. Again, the Raiders here on the smiling side of the scoreboard here this evening for Senior Night 2018 as they take down the Cowan Lady Blackhawks again in straight sets, 25-10, 25-12, 25-13. As the Raiders now improve to 25-4 on the season, 9-0 in conference play. So another job well done. Again, before we went to break, I mentioned how we claimed the MEC Conference Championship once again for a 4th year in a row. So a big-time accomplishment. Well done there by the Lady Raiders and the coaching staff. You got the manager, Cameron Mason, obviously doing a great job this season, helping out any way he can. Just a team effort. You know, you really like what you've seen there. And, you know, tonight, I have to say, was a little surprising. You know, not necessarily that we didn't have that kind of game in us. It was more from the fact of Cowan's standpoint, I was very surprised the ineffectiveness that they had here this evening. And you have off nights sometimes, but this is a good team that Wapahani played against tonight. Cowan did have an off night, but I'll tell you what, Wapahani just hit the ground running from the very beginning, coming right out of the gate, guns a-blazing. I mean, just everything, clicking on all cylinders. And that's what you want to see. You get late in the season now. You got sectional starting next week. This is a big, big game here for Wapahani. And really, kind of the statement, if you will. And, and coming out here and not worrying about, maybe some of the past games, and we've had a really good season. 25-4 is really, really good. I mean, really good. We've had our fair share of tough games. We've had our fair share of good games. But at the end of the day, you look to get better every day. You look to make yourself better. You look to make your teammates better. And because at the end of the day, this is a team game. It's team effort. You got to be able to get the job done together. One person ain't going to win no ball game, and not one person is going to lose a ball game. It's a team effort. And this was just overall a team, overall a great team game here for Wapahani, in which we played so well. And I talked about this at other different points in the game, how really good we played. Probably the best game of the season for us. And what a way to end, things for the seniors as far as playing in the regular season at home. This is a great way to send them out from that standpoint. Because, it was just a solid game all the way through. There really wasn't anything that we did not do a good job of here tonight. Everything was, again, spot on, flying on all cylinders. We was just doing a solid job. And I'm sure, within the last day or so of practice, I'm sure they was probably told, hey, you get this part of the season, we've got to start playing better. And we have been playing good for a good majority of the season. Yes, we've had a couple of hiccups at times. That's a part of the game. But overall, we've had a very good season. But this game tonight really has set the Wapahani Raiders apart from all the other 24 victories that we've had. They've been good, but they haven't been probably this good. And it's, like I said, it's just great to see. And I'm happy for them, happy for the players, the coaches, everybody involved, the fans, all you fans out there. It's great to have that kind of a game to set the tone and build your confidence. Now you go into Saturday, you got some really tough games coming up at the Columbus East Invitational. They're on Saturday morning and throughout the day on Saturday. It's going to be some tough ball games and some tough opponents for Wapahani to go up against. But it's great for us. I think it's great to have that before you go into sectionals next week. And hopefully we go out there. If we play like we did tonight, it wouldn't surprise me if we go down there, take care of business, and win the whole thing, to be quite honest with you. We played that good here tonight. And that's the way it should be every night. You can't have a letdown. You got to play with the same intensity, the same confidence, and have your A game at all times. And especially going into sectional play, you have to have it. Because if you don't, it's win or go home. More times than not, you're probably going to be going home if you don't bring your A game. So this was a good way to end, again, the regular season at home. Sectionals next week. I talked about it in our pregame report. That will be starting up next Tuesday. That will be featuring in the first game. It'll be featuring the Hamilton Heights Huskies taking on the Delta Eagles. That will be a 6 o'clock start time for that next Tuesday night. That is the only game on Tuesday. Then on Thursday, we will see Newcastle take on Blackford at 6 p.m. Then Jay County taking on Muncie Burris at 7:30, 7:45, somewhere around in there. So one game on Tuesday, 2 games on Thursday, and then for the semifinal round, On Saturday, October the 13th, the winner of the Hamilton Heights and Delta game will then take on Wapahani in the early morning matchup at 11 a.m. Again, that will be October the 13th on a Saturday. The first semifinal game of the day will be the winner of Hamilton Heights and Delta taking on the Wapahani Lady Raiders at 11 o'clock. Then the second game of the semifinal round later on in the afternoon will feature the winner of the Newcastle Blackford game taking on the winner of the Jay County Muncie Burris game. Again, that will be a 12:30 start on Saturday, October the 13th. Then the sectional 24 championship game will be held later on that night at 7 p.m. Again, all games will be played out here at Wapahani. So make sure, please come on out. Support these Lady Raiders. And if you can't come, like I said, we'll have all the games from a Wapahani standpoint right on here. You can watch us live. But, again, we're always happy to have you on here or happy to have you here at the ball game as well. So we do want to say thank you to all of our sponsors here this evening: Jones Auto Body, Stoops Automotive Group Buick and GMC Dealership, University Avenue Dental, Greg Pyle DDS, B. Joseph Davis Attorney at Law, the Muncie Dragway, FC Tucker, Muncie Realtors, Ted Cook and Joanne Davis, Tom Cherry Mufflers, the Barn Lot, as well as the Liberty Perry Alumni Association and Harris Chapel Church. Huge thanks to them and our good friends over there, as well as Jim and Janie Ballinger. We greatly appreciate you guys. But again, folks, Wapahani ends the regular season at home with a win and another MEC Conference title 4 years in a row for your Wapahani Lady Raiders, taking care of business in the MEC Conference. 25-4 on the year. They'll be back at it on Saturday in the Columbus East Invitational. So again, our next broadcast will be Saturday, October the 13th, as the Wapahani Lady Raiders will be taking on the winner of Hamilton Heights and Delta in the semifinal round of the sectional 24 state tournament right out here from Raider Gymnasium. So, folks, until next time, I'm Brandon Morvillius alongside cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy. Thank all of you for watching. Have a great night, and we will see you next time right here on the WHS Network.